Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. So let's continue unpacking some expressions that talk about the cutting edge technology. Cutting edge in relative, right? Okay, so today we're going to talk about 人机交互. 人机交互. In today's lingo, even if we talk about human machine, this machine is especially the most powerful machine of today, or the most powerful popular machine, because I'm pretty sure there are more powerful machines out there that's not in our everyday living life or working life. So this machine in particular means computer. Human machine means human computer. Okay, and 交互 means how they interact, and Chinese translated 交 and 互, and you can see this kind of twist turning even in contemporary Chinese. There is this, two-directional intersecting thing, or this is like two opposing forces interacting thing. Just visually, they already create the image of two-directional, right? There is this back and forth push and pull way of interaction. So 人机交互 simply is human-computer interaction. Okay, 人, it looks like an English letter R, right? And in contemporary Chinese, it simply means two-leg standing being. Nothing fancy, just that's, if we boil down to most noticeable human feature, humans in distinction to animals, where the only two-leg standing being. I mean, that's simple as that. But ancient Chinese rendering of 人 is kind of interesting. It looks like this. So I often like to imagine ancient language creators realize humans are actually complicated being, that we have opposing sides, like opposing views, opposing forces inside us, that we're this constant struggle between left and right, rational, emotional, linear, non-linear, a struggle. It's a lifetime battling, like inside ourselves and us versus the environment, all that, right? So I like to romanticize like why Chinese ancient characters look like one side is linear or straighter, the other side is curvier, is non-linear. But okay, another reading of that is simply this human two-leg standing being. In contemporary Chinese, this looks like a full frontal view. So torso, two legs. But in ancient rendering, this is profile view. This is a side view of a human, and kind of look like that. And this is the arm. And this is, if you want to view, this is the torso and the leg together. And it almost like, oh my gosh, it just occurred to me. It almost like hand walking, like a crawling picture. It looks like the hand, if this is a hand and this is the feet, look like both are underground, and that depicts the very beginning before human becomes two-leg standing being, that this is like a prior stage of that. Almost, right? Okay, so that's another rendering. So this is a side view instead of frontal view. In any case, only two strokes in Chinese depict human. Because, hey, language is a human invention. It's a human abstraction of about their life. And human is the main character. We are the protagonist. We are the language user. And so to describe us, it has to boil down to some simple structure, right? So one stroke Chinese character means number one. That's almost like the origin of the universe. We regard the sky or the limit, the all-encompassing universe, just one straight line. That's Chinese concept. And that most simple concept was attributed to nature, to universe. And two character attributed to us, to this two-leg standing being, or this left-right combination things, or this profile view. however you want to view it, but it's two strokes. It's simple enough, means it's highly frequent. And it also means we are, as a language, as a culture, we are aware. We are the main character there. We are narrating our story, and as a main character, as a highly repeated reoccurrence in the concept or in the storytelling, we have to talk about who is doing what, right? It's 人, it's about us, about humans. Okay. 机, we have left and right structure. Left means the material, wood. So Chinese characterize wood with this upward turning, downward turning, connected with one vertical line. Upward turning is the canopy of the tree, and downward turning is the root of the tree. I mean, tree is basically like a mirror image, right? Without writing out the ground level. So this line was not drawn out, and Chinese simplify a tree or a plant symbol look like that. So, I mean, this is particular tree, probably because tree, not every plant have a mirror image. Some grass, I mean, they have very shallow root, right? Only tree go deep in their rooting. And so this is a tree symbol, and that's tree is the material wood, where that comes from. So eventually that becomes material. And the right side means the mechanism of arrow shooting. This again is a little bit of streamlined human figure. You can see the similarity between the two, right? Like these two are the same thing, but because this is a component of a much more bigger picture, so it gets streamlined, like the nuance of this curve thing was streamlined in there, okay? And this pointy looking thing is a ancient farming / weaponry combination. So it depends on a wartime or peacetime. It can be used as both a farming tool versus a weaponry. So I would imagine like farming tool involves metal, sharp edges, and both can be applied, like repurposed to defending or aggressing as a weaponry. So human next to weaponry, okay? And then this is a trolley system, involves a lot of turnings, twists and turns, kind of amplifier of your force. So human forces are limited, but humans are smart enough to come up with devices to amplify your force, right? Trolley system is one of them. And using the trolley system, attach it to weaponry, involves a human. We are the ones to put the trigger, right? And together made of wood, the whole picture assembled together to give you the image of kind of ancient archery that involves complicated mechanisms that a human trigger, and then it's far range arrow shooting because it's amplified by this trolley system. So this ancient military technology, I guess that's probably the most, at least valued by the nation. Whoever owns this technology, right, they are going to gain grounds over their enemy because they have more advanced killing machine, so to speak. And this then was captured to represent, I guess, the best ancient technology back then, like a man-made machine, even if it came from weaponry, but that made it into this machinery, this complicated mechanism involved in there. Okay, so 人机, in today, the most powerful tool for us is computer. So that's like contextual. Probably in the future, that's 机. We still use 机, but then the content of what 机 is referring to, like pointer attached to, would be different than today's computer in today's age, 2024. Okay, all right. And 交 and who again. 交 came from this frontal view of human. So this is the head, this is the arm, torso. You can view that as a hip, but this leg, crossing leg. So here it's describing human posing with legs crossed. It's a little bit awkward. I mean, yeah, But okay, that's the reading as far as I know by scholars agreed upon. This is leg crossing sitting posture that eventually we forget about the leg crossing, about this awkward posture, but then extend into the crossing. So that means you have this two legs coming, one overlay another, like intersecting or coming from different directions, and then they intersect and continue this way. So that becomes this concept of this crisscross thing. Okay. And by the way, okay, another tip of, I know in part of China that's in cold region, old couples, like senior old couples, they try to stay warm by laying in bed with their legs crisscrossed. When they sleep, they have their legs intertwined. I mean, we don't need to romanticize that, but for practicality, to stay warm, you and your partner crisscross your legs together. So that involves two humans crisscrossing, but this here is in on one person crisscross their legs. Okay. It was said to be, I mean, isn't that this all by itself without the bamboo part on the top almost looks like an icon of some sort, right? I mean, somebody please make an icon of it, or maybe it's already existing, but it does look, first off, it's kind of a rotational image, right? And it's also mirror image, so it's you can see the top and bottom kind of looking the same, right? Wait, no, it's not it's a rotational image, but because this top and bottom have this horizontal line, so there's kind of a reflection of each other. It's kind of like a yin and a yang, right? It's somebody said this is about a roping, a type of rope, ancient, I guess, roping technology that try to wind the rope onto a spool or something, that the rope are going to be easily unroped or unintertwined. So you don't need to involve this struggling with roping, sorted out thing. So there were ancient times technology to keep the rope winded together without getting entangled. So this shows the process of this roping. I guess it involves with coming, going back and forth in this directional way that keeps going. And eventually when you need to use it, you're just going reverse way. Maybe it's out of imagination, but just visually, it does have this, going one way and then going back the other way sense. Okay, and the top is bamboo symbol. I mean, it shouldn't be part of the picture simply because we couldn't find this icon on its own. So it's like somebody dig into the ancient book talking about the origins, talking about the etymology, the origins of character, to pull this word, but even if it has part of this portion, it has something additional that has nothing to do with it. So, I mean, bamboo added probably is another tool that's made of bamboo that serves the purpose of roping like that. In any case, this means two directional back and forth repeated motion, right? And this means intersecting. And the jiao and hu, both of them have this, at least the two sides or two directions involved, and have this continuation of back and forth, back and forth. And then Chinese use source from two different scenarios, but both share the similarity of this bidirectional, this interaction thing combined together, jiao and hu together gives you the sense of this loop, this constant back and forth looping process, that's interaction. Okay, so in 人机交互 simply means human, 机 is the computer now, interaction. And I show two pictures of two types of human computer interaction. One is actually human-human interaction. Zooming involves on the computer. So it's like a computer facilitated human communication. So it's essentially human-human interaction, right? But it's still like you have to work with a computer to make a Zoom meeting happen. So this is kind of a easy consumer product, easy use of a human computer, using computer as communication tool, as if it's a phone, it's a multiple phone line, visual possible phone line. Versus this is more deeper sense of human computer interaction. This is like talking to the computer in computer language, right? Coding into it to tell computer what to do, how to compute, setting up the algorithms. So this is another way of human computer interaction. And I'm sure there are many, many other scenarios, but these are kind of two extremes of you either talk in computer language. It's really like take years for people to learn that, right? And practice and be good at it, like speaking to computer, versus this is simply using computer as a communication tool, as your telephone line. So both of them are examples of 人机交互. Okay, 人机交互. Thank you for watching. See you another